இப்போது புதிய அறிமுகம் ஆச்சி ஹோட்டல் சாம்பார் 50 கிராம் ரூபாய் 20 மட்டுமே.
He is brilliant. ஆனா அடிக்கடி ரொம்ப டயர்ட் ஆயிடுறான்.
லயன் டேட் சிரப் நோய் எதிர்ப்பு சக்தி அதிகமா இருக்கு. தினமும் 2 ஸ்பூன்.
Taste daily. Taste the daily.
Fifth place, Tobias Vasquez broken clear of that particular battle now. Tobias Vasquez about 1.6 seconds clear of the battle that you're looking at. There's Vasquez just gone through the bottom of your screen, now on board with the 28 car. So I think grip and traction very much at a premium here for Ajith Khan for Red Ant plus Ajith Kumar Racing. Sorry, Ajith Kumar, beg your pardon, and Ajith Kumar Racing. So on board with him, once again, you can see how hard he's having to work the wheel just to keep the car pointing in the right direction. Just ahead of him is Ernst Inderbitsen, who is in 15th place. So Kumar has dropped down into 16th place as a result of that lively moment. And Inderbitsen was able to sneak through. Right, looking at the pit straight briefly there as Javier Riffol Jr. In a solid third place at the moment. The 1, 2, 3 just running very much on their own at the moment. Leonov about 1.264 ahead of Philip Wills in second place. He in turn is 3.1 clear of Javier Riffol Jr. In third place, but very much all to play for from there backwards as Tobias Vasquez in 1-2-1 under pressure once again. Reinhold Kran also there as well, fighting for the positions out along the pit straight. They come once again. Vasquez in fourth place ahead of Reinhold Kran, and then the 33 car of Alexander Dobik. Dobik now putting the pressure onto Reinhold Kran for the fifth place. Just trying to push him into a mistake, looking to see if there's a way he can find the route through. Fontana was a front end damage, Angelo Fontana, just to say he won't return to the race. So he has retired. That's why he's retired to the pits. There's Reinhold Kran under pressure from Alexander Dobik. The 233 car in fifth place. All of these cars in the AM category are leading GT4 car. Patrick Kuhners up into ninth place overall. He's in a Porsche Cayman against all the 911s, and he is stretching his legs up into ninth place. Fantastic stuff there. Right, there is Fernandez into the pits. It's all gone a little bit wrong. It looks so strong at the start, but it looks like his afternoon is over as we look at Ernst Inderbitsen in the number 9 car. Ahead of him is David von Rosen. So they running towards the back of the pack. Inderbitsen and von Rosen, they're fighting for fourth place. This is a good battle though. Alexander Dobik in sixth place. Ahead of him, Reinhold Kran. Kran, who already lost that position to Tobias Vasquez, now under pressure. Vasquez has broken clear, left a big gap between them. We're into the last 9.25 minutes of this race, and still places remain unchanged across the line. Reinhold Kran once again with the 33 car of Alexander Dobik. Is he going to challenge into turn one? He looks to the left, he looks to the right, he sees a gap on the inside under braking. Into turn one, the heavy braking, but it's a slower line on the inside around that corner, and still Kran is able to sweep on past and hold on to that fifth place. But Alexander Dobik starting to look a little bit impatient as he challenges Reinhold Kran for that fifth place. Leonov up the front, 1.3 clear. Then Philip Wills in second. Javier Ripoll Jr. in third. Then Tobias Vasquez. Then this battle we're looking at here. 2-3-3, Reinhold Kran. Alexander Dobik just behind him. They're well clear of Jan-Jaap van Room in seventh place. Lee Mole in eighth. Then the very impressive Patrick Kuhner in ninth place, leading the GT4 race. Then in 10th place, it's Eric Wagner. Rounding out the top 10, Peter Sander there in 11th, ahead of Dominic Bastian. And down the hill we come. 8 minutes remaining, plus 1 lap of this race. There's Merabi Mekbabishvili. And after that moment at the start, trying to work his way back through the pack. He's found a route past Ajith Kumar, so that would be for 16th place. the very rapid Mekvabishvili, who was towards the top, if not at the top, of the timesheets in all of the practice and qualifying sessions, having to do all the hard work after that early on spin. Leonov still stretching his legs at the front, a fastest lap of 146.188, and he stretching his legs at the front over Felipe Wills. That's along the pit straight once again. This fight that seems to have been going on for 5th place for a very long time. Reinhold Kran now under pressure once again. Alexander Dobic trying what he tried last time around, still not making it stick. He's got 7 minutes to think of a way past the green and black car in front of him and to steal away that position of 5th place. But still, Kran has this under control, so it seems, although Vasquez now well clear by some 5 seconds in that 4th place. 1st, 2nd, 3rd, 4th, running very much on their own. There's Limo in 8th place, he's been very quick. Patrick Kuhnhart, the leader in the GT4 race, in 9th overall. That is so impressive in a car that has significantly less power and grunt than those around him, and looking very strong for a top step in the GT4 race. Looking down at the Torrey VIP turn 5. And getting a good exit out of that corner is really important, because you head into turn 6, which is taken absolutely flat out, and you get a good exit out of turn 5, you have an opportunity to make a challenge into turn 6. Down yet another one of the hills, coming up to 5 3/4 minutes remaining. Race 1 of the season for Porsche Sprint Challenge Southern Europe, the club division. We've already seen the sport division, and after what was a fairly troubled start to this race, we're finally underway as we ride on board with the 28 of Ajith Kumar for Red Ant and Ajith Kumar Racing, the driver from India, with the camera on board, currently in 17th place. Once again, Alexander Dobic challenging Reinhold Kran. It feels like these two cars have been together for pretty well the whole race. We saw Tobias Vasquez get past early on and break clear in that 4th place. But Alexander Dobic not finding it quite so easy. Reinhold Kran making that Porsche as wide as he possibly can, holding on to that 5th place. Every point counts, and when the championship is done and dusted at the end of the season, it comes down often to just single points. Every place is important, never giving up. At the front, Evgeny Leonov has a gap of nearly 2 seconds over Felipe Wills and Javier Ripoll Jr. That's the 1, 2, 3. No real challenges going on for the lead. Eric Wagner, car 23, driver for Enrico Fulgenzi Racing. We heard from him on the grid earlier on in that 11th place now. Dominic Bastian, the 79-year-old pilot, phenomenal that he's racing so competitively as well. And a great fight that he's putting up here. But having to defend hard from Markus Neuhofer for Team Neuhofer Rennsport in that 13th place as he tries to close in. But Dominic Bastian in 12th, Wagner in 11th, so they're all in point scoring positions. Murabi Mekvabishvili, after that spin to the back of the pack, is now into the points and up into 14th place. Yes, damage limitation, but certainly showing what he is capable of. This is a good fight, isn't it? For 11th place, Eric Wagner holding on for all he's worth. How long's he got? Just over 3.5 minutes plus 1 lap to hold on to that position. Eric Wagner in the 23 car in 11th place. Meanwhile, our race leader, very much everything under control. Felipe Wills in 2nd place in the yellow and black car, keeping him in sight but not able to close in on him. 3rd place, Javier Ripoll Jr. A long way back from them. The 1, 2, 3 looking solid. Tobias Vasquez still a couple of seconds back from 3rd place. So a podium looking like a bit of a stretch unless there is a mistake from one of the drivers up in front, because we are into the final 3 minutes of this race, plus 1 lap. When the clock strikes 0, the cars will continue on whatever lap they are on, and then there will be 1 more lap after that. and then the race will be done. 2 minutes and 40 seconds. We ride on board with second place Felipe Wills from Proton Huber competition. It's Volcano Motorsport who lead the way from Proton Huber and Est1 in third place, with Kramer Racing in fourth, and lap time performance in fifth place with Reinhold Kran at the wheel. Alexander Dobik for Hadeka Racing in sixth place. Just there, still putting the pressure on, still points that could be scored as we look once again at Eric Wagner in the Enrico Fulgenzi Racing. The number 23 car seems to have the measure of Dominic Bastian at the moment in the 45 car, who has his attention occupied by Markus Neuhofer, who is just behind him and filling his mirrors. Also rushing to join that battle is Marabi Mekbabishvili, who is fighting his way back. Marabi Mekbabishvili has found his way through yet another place, picking off the points. Look at this still. Reinhold Kran in fifth place. Alexander Dobik now starting to get impatient. 90 seconds of timed racing remaining, plus the obligatory one lap. Still, Leonov leading the way. That's under control. Wills in second. That's under control. Ripoll Jr. in third. That's under control. Then it's Vasquez. Then it's this. Very much still up for grabs. The fight for fifth place. Reinhold Kran, Alexander Dobik putting the pressure on. 1 minute and 10 seconds plus one lap to try and find a route past. He's been trying it all race long. We've had 19 minutes of this race. There is just 1 minute remaining plus the obligatory one lap. Our race leader out at turn 13 at the moment. I think he's going to cross the start-finish line before the clock strikes zero, which will mean there will be another 2 laps remaining of this, the first race of the season for Porsche Sprint Challenge Southern Europe, the club division. What a fight we are having here. Reinhold Kran must be fed up with the sight of that car in his mirrors. Alexander Dobik must be fed up with the car that is filling his windscreen, but neither of them seems to be able to do anything to make any difference at the moment. Kran holding on to that fifth place. Leonov stamping his authority on this race. Another fastest lap, opening it up to 2.5 seconds over Felipe Wills. Just needs to hold it together for another 8 seconds, plus it's going to be the extra one lap. So the clock has struck zero now, and now it is the remainder of this lap plus one more for the race leader. Still the fighting continues further back. Still, it's Eric Wagner with all that pressure from behind. Still, Reinhold Kran, he has held on for 20 minutes of this race from Alexander Dobik in that sixth place. Dobik still not able to find a route forwards. Our race leader currently on the penultimate lap of the race. That means that this fight has about a lap and a half left to run. What can Alexander Dobik do to get the number 33 car up into that fifth place? So I've just had notification that there is not going to be the extra lap. So this is the final lap of the race. So because of the jumbled start, there is no extra lap. That means this is the last lap of the race. Evgeny Leonov only has to do another 2 corners and he will be the first race winner of the season in Sprint Challenge Southern Europe for the club division. Felipe Wills in that solid second place. So with this being the final lap, Leonov out into turn 15 for the very last time. He will come out onto the pit straight. He will see the checkered flag in front of him in just a few moments, and it's going to be a win for Evgeny Leonov. The checkered flag waves. Felipe Wills a lonely second place ahead of Javier Ripoll Jr. He will come out of that final corner in just a few moments for the last of the podium positions. A phenomenal job from Patrick Kuna, can I just point out. Here comes third place now, tellingly the windscreen wiper running on the number 91 car. Then Tobias Vasquez, what a charge from him, and what a job from Reinhold Kran. He held off immense pressure from Alexander Dobik for that fifth place. Then it'll be Jan-Jaap van Roon in seventh, ahead of Lee Mole. A solid job from him in eighth place. Then Patrick Kuna winning in the GC4 category in ninth place overall. He will cross the line ahead of Peter Sander. We're still waiting for them to come out across the line. Still fighting for position further back. There is Eric Wagner, still with Dominic Bastian. monstering him all the way until the very bitter end. Can I just say, shout out to Marabi Mekbabishvili fighting back to 11th place ahead of Eric Wagner, Dominic Bastian, Marcus Neuhofer and Ernst Inderbitzen. So some of the drivers who spun early on coming back with great strength at the end of this race. I think driver of the race though has to go to Patrick Kunar in 9th place in a GT4 car against all these GT3 cars around him, winning in the GT4 category. But Evgeny Leonov, what a job from him. To be fair, never really looked under threat from the moment this race started. A fairly dominant performance, eventually crossing the line some 3.124 seconds ahead of Felipe Wills and Javier Ripoll Jr. in that 3rd place. Brilliant stuff. There's Felipe Wills. We're on board with him. And really welcome addition to the grid here in the Porsche Sprint Challenge Southern Europe Club Division here. The first event of what is set to be an absolutely classic 2025 season. The rest of the cars now coming home. We lost 4 cars there. We lost Andre Fernandez, Casper Hockburn, Lennart Heemstra and Angelo Fontana. We had 18 finishers. For all the fans of Ajith Kumar, he came home in a 17th place. A fairly challenging race, but certainly a solid performance for the Indian driver. There's the rest of the grid, and there is the result now coming up on your screens. We'll wait for official confirmation. I think stewards had quite a lot to look at there, and of course with that jumbled start as well, I think the right decision was made to give it another go. There.
இப்போது புதிய அறிமுகம் ஆச்சி ஹோட்டல் சாம்பார் 50 கிராம் ரூபாய் 20 மட்டுமே.
He is brilliant. ஆனா அடிக்கடி ரொம்ப டயர்ட் ஆயிடுறான்.
லயன் டேட் சிரப் நோய் எதிர்ப்பு சக்தி அதிகமா இருக்கு. தினமும் 2 ஸ்பூன்.
Taste the daily.